Can you imagine sitting at home in 1978 getting lulled by this soft, sensual performance, and then experiencing the jarring cuts back to Grandpa Itchy having a good time in his chair? The guard bends down to talk to Lumpy, and Lumpy bites him. Lumpy, no! It's a big city and animated, so we get loads of weird Star Wars aliens. Look at that guy. She agrees to dish out one more round on the house, and it becomes a musical. That's what happens. What the f*** is going on? Just kidding. It's me. I'm 5. I can't stop laughing at this. Do you mind? Thank you. Hello, lovely people. My name is Emma. Okay, listen. Look, listen. Did I want to get this video out before the holidays? At the end of 2023? Yes, I did. It's a holiday-themed video. I was busy working. I was working as an elf. It was a great time. I was loving my life. I figured I would have enough time to slip this in before the holidays, and then that would be a beautiful end to the year for everyone. And then I got ill, and then I lost my voice completely for over 2 weeks. What am I going to do? Wait till the holidays 2024? I bought the mask. I bought this holiday Chewbacca. This is technically Lego holiday Chewbacca. You can't really tell apart from his Lego grabby hands. Look at that. Was I just going to wait and let this opportunity pass me by when I had already done all the work of watching and reviewing the film and making my notes and getting holiday Chewbacca and wearing the mask? No! So we're starting the year with a holiday video. Just indulge me, please. Losing my voice was the scariest fucking thing in the world. Everything I do in life and to make money to pay bills requires my voice. And as you can hear, it's not fully there, but I gotta work. Of course, some of you won't have missed me as much because you'll be subscribed to Little Duck Gaming, where gaming content has been coming out regularly, or Emma Thorne Backstage, where behind the scenes and lifestyle content comes out regularly. So, if you're not, you probably should subscribe to those. I blew my nose so hard my glasses came off. As I'm sure you've worked out by now, today we are going to be recapping the Star Wars Holiday Special. I have put together the board. It's been a while since I've done this and I forgot to print the pictures on cards, so they've all gone curly. I'm sorry. Family connections, as usual, in red. This is the zone of the imaginary that will become clear later. Journey back in time with me, if you will. It's 1978. Last year, the world welcomed a phenomenal movie hit, George Lucas's Star Wars: A New Hope. Hoping to maintain interest for the upcoming sequel, and maybe to shift some Christmas toys, TV bigwigs elected to make a Star Wars holiday special. Lucas said, "Fine," and promptly disappeared from the project. What the public witnessed that fateful day in November 1978 was a TV travesty that has gone down in history as one of the worst viewing experiences of all time, frequently topping worst Christmas movie charts. As a result, the Star Wars Holiday Special has never been re-released, making it, ironically, something of a cult classic. If you wondered, here's what George Lucas had to say about the special. "If I had the time and a sledgehammer, I would track down every copy of that show and smash it." So what the hell happens in this infamous special, and why is it so bad? If you've ever wanted answers to these questions, then you're in the right place because I'm about to tell you. But first, a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Magic Spoon. I love my Magic Spoon cereal. Lately, as I'm sure you can tell, I've been a little bit under the weather. When I don't have a big appetite or I'm feeling snacky, and I want to make sure that I don't just lie in bed and eat chocolate, I really like Magic Spoon. It's just like the super tasty cereal you remember nomming as a child, but with no artificial stuff and no sugar. It's keto-friendly. Friendly? Magic Spoon is high protein, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, wheat-free, and naturally flavoured. Suits any of your lifestyles. The cereal has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of Why am I struggling with the word protein today? 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 grams of net carbs in each serving, and is 140 calories per serving. The treats contain 1 gram of sugar, 11 grams of protein, 1 to 2 grams of net carbs, and are 130 calories per serving, and very high in fibre. Check out the link below or follow the QR code to get some Magic Spoon cereal today. You can build your very own custom box with all the delicious flavours you love. Use my code EMMATHORNE for $5 off. You can choose from the best-selling flavours. Ready? Cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter and maple waffle, plus other awesome flavours including honey nut, blueberry muffin, birthday cake, cinnamon roll and chocolate chip cookies. You can also add marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter cereal treats to your order. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't like it for any reason, they will refund your money, no questions asked. Whether you're just looking for wholesome, super tasty cereal or you're looking to do that new year, new me shit, start your year off right by clicking the link below or scanning the QR code. Use the code EMMATHORNE for $5 off or go to magicspoon.com/EmmaThorne to save $5 off your order today. For my fellow Brits and my Canadian friends, Magic Spoon does ship to Canada and the UK. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this video. We open with a pair of our beloved Star Wars characters, Han Solo and Chewbacca, flying in the Millennium Falcon. They're being chased by 2 Imperial Star Destroyers. Solo is like, we better turn this shit around, this is getting pretty hairy. No offense intended to my Wookiee friends. Chewie whines like a big baby because his family is waiting for him and it's Life Day. Han is like, fine. I'll just try and outrun them by going to lightspeed. And he does, and they do. The end. Tragically not, this is actually the opening, which displays the cast for us in hilarious 70s fashion.
Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca.
Woo! That's my boy! Interesting tidbit, R2-D2 is listed in the cast as playing himself, despite his work in the films. Kenny Baker, it seems, was not involved in the holiday special. R2 in this film is 100% mechanical and remote controlled. Similarly, James Earl Jones is introduced as the voice of Darth Vader, with nary a shout out to David Prowse, who continued his role as the on-screen actor playing Vader. So I'm already unhappy on his behalf 2 minutes in. Prowse deserved better. This brief glimpse of Chewie's family is probably enough for most people. Tag yourself, I'm Lumpy. I mean, come on. Finally, we zoom in on a still image of a nice treehouse on Kashyyyk, the Wookiee home planet. Inside we find ourselves in the house from Elth? No, sorry, it's Chewie's family home. Am I crazy for thinking that when I first saw it though? Am I the only one who's seeing that? Fun fact, in this timeline, we're 10 years away from an almost equally depressing Alf holiday special. That's a story for another time. Grandpa Itchy, Chewie's father, is trying to fix up a toy starship. Looks like an X-Wing to me, I only have a few pixels to go on, so correct me if I'm wrong. While Marla, Chewie's wife, does the washing up. Lumpy, Chewie's phenomenally named son, runs down the stairs playing with a starship of his own, getting all up in Itchy's business. This whole segment is, naturally, in Shariwook, the Wookiee language. Criticise my pronunciation if you like, it's not even real. You know I didn't mean that, right? It's real to me. So this whole part is in the Wookiee language and comes with no subtitles, but from what I gather, it's a pretty typical domestic scene. Lumpy's getting in everyone's way, his mum is like, take out the trash, you hooligan, and Grandpa screams at him whenever he gets too close. Also, Lumpy steals a biscuit. That kid is a mood. Conceding to finally take out the trash, Lumpy decides to spice things up by balancing on the banister of their very high treehouse. Why do Wookiees live in treehouses? I think it's something to do with predators, but they really seem like ground-based creatures. They haven't really evolved to be tree-clambering style folk, right? Star Wars being Star Wars, these big fuck-off trees have their own lore, but nobody's got time for that. Anyway, we are blessed with this hilarious composite. Back inside the house, Marla is wailing over this kinda hilarious picture of Chewbacca. Did you think Lumpy on the ledge outside was going to be a plot point? I did. We're both wrong. He runs back inside and now Itchy has some sort of entertainment disc in his hands. Since this followed Itchy trying to cheer up Marla about Chewie, I kind of expected like a home movie or something. No, it's this. This digital act goes on for some time. Oh, thank God, it's over. Lumpy loved it, but Marla is like, come dry the dishes, you little circus freak. Then Marla uses her weird Wookiee video computer to call up traffic control, which reveals to her dismay that there are no starships in the area. What a long 10 minutes this has been. Marla and Itchy call up their old pal, Luke Skywalker. Terrible hair in this special. I mean, my God, the space bowl haircut is real. Luke is presently hanging out with R2, played by himself. Luke is like, hey, look R2, it's Chewbacca's family. And they're all waving at the camera, so I guess they're on some sort of auto-accept call list? I hope Luke never forgets to put on his jumpsuit in this workshop thing. Listen, look, listen. I love Mark Hamill. Did you see Fall of the House of Usher? Man's phenomenal. However, he is clearly struggling here, holding a pretend conversation with a video screen of babbling Wookiees. It's hilariously awkward. Some engine or something he's working on starts to smoke in the background, and R2 tries and fails to get Luke's attention. There is one funny moment where Itchy and Marla hold up the picture of Chewie, and Luke is like, "Oh, Chewie, can I speak to him?" You idiot boy. Luke finally catches on that Chewie hasn't arrived at Kashyyyk, meaning that Han and Chewie are long overdue. Dun dun dun! Luke reassures the gang that Han and Chewie are probably just held up somewhere. Chewie has never missed a life day with his family. Through multiple wars. Why does this feel like a Scientology video? Luke is like, I better go fix this thingy, and it explodes in smoke again. Ha ha ha! Marla, dejected at the lack of news, goes and dials a Wookiee trading post, and we cut over there. Our friendly store owner, Sean Dan. I don't think we get his name at this point. At least, I didn't know what it was at this point. His name's Sean Dan. Our friendly trading post owner, Sean Dan, is visited by an Imperial Guard. Somewhere between these guys. Not this one, but a guy like him. I'm here to provide you with all the informative content. Can I just say how weird it is to see a guard like this, with his face uncovered and no gloves on? Is that mustache regulation? Sean Dan shows the guard a pocket-sized aquarium, which is cute as hell. I want one, please and thank you. The guard, because he's a villain, is like, I hate fish. Alright, prick. The shopkeeper is like, oh, haha, me too, stupid fish. I just thought I'd show you some stuff that those dumb Wookiees buy from me. He's about to show the guard another stupid item he sells when he gets a video call from Marla, of course. He uses some brilliant code to converse with her while the guard is in the store.
You're wondering when that shaggy carpet you ordered will arrive at your home.
Pretty good stuff. Until this bit.
In fact, you might say she did it by hand. Solo.
Not so good. Sean Dan tells Marla he'll be over to deliver something later. Call is over. Now Sean Dan is showing the guard a personal groomer, which he claims to use all the time.
Really?
Fucking burn! That was funny. Not gonna lie, that was funny. These guys' performances in this scene are pretty good. Better than Luke and R2 for sure. Sorry, Mark. The guard is like, I am taking this personal groomer for free! And so ends the shop scene. Which, while funny, was pointless in terms of advancing the story. Can't win them all, I guess. Back in space, aboard one of the Star Destroyers, it's your man, Mr. Star Wars himself, Darth Vader. Vader wants these rebels caught if that means searching the whole system. Oh, that's it. Back to Kashyyyk. Yay. Darth Vader and his Imperial troops hunting for Han and Chewie? Lame. Boring. Don't want to see too much of that. Let's watch a cooking show with Marla.
Coming along nicely. Starting to have a fine aroma.
I don't know what to say about this. Back to the Millennium Falcon. Oh, thank God. Some Star Wars. Being now pursued by TIE fighters, it's all action. Pew pew, zap, whoosh. A welcome break from the domestic cooking spot and shop sketch. Turns out the coordinates that Han took the Falcon to landed them right in the middle of an Imperial convoy. Still, they stand a better chance against these TIE fighters than they did the destroyers, so things are somewhat looking up. At this point, I was wondering if there was something going on here set-wise, because the shots of the Falcon interior are all close-ups. We're constantly tight in on Han and Chewie. It feels a little claustrophobic, like the whole thing is like, and Chewie, we gotta get out of here. Whoa. Oh, come on, Chewie, we gotta go. Whoa. It's a little bit odd. It's pretty claustrophobic for what I remember being quite a roomy cockpit. If it's a style choice, it's a really weird one, so I'm inclined to think the set wasn't all together, or it was like a quick botch job that meant they couldn't do many two shots of our heroes together. Whatever the reason, it makes for pretty uncomfortable viewing. I love these characters. I don't want to be that close to them all the time. Back on Kashyyyk, Marla is sadly hugging a picture of Chewie when some kind of alarm rings out. It's an Imperial news bulletin. Behold this guy. I checked. He is absolutely credited as unnamed Imperial officer. So, don't blame me for not knowing who the fuck that is. Apparently it doesn't matter. The bulletin alerts everyone that due to suspected rebel activity, the planet is now under martial law.
Due to suspected rebel activity on the Kashyyyk planet.
The what planet? Kashyyyk? Am I going crazy, or is that what he said? Anyway, no ships will be permitted to land until further notice. Chewie's family are already freaking out when there's a knock at the door. Fortunately, it's just Sean Dan.
The thingamabob. The mind evaporator, that's it, the mind evaporator.
The mind evaporator. Sounds like the sort of thing you'd want to remember. Shaundan is like, well, the long faces, I made it here, didn't I? That means Chewie and Han will. Except you were already on the planet, and there's an Imperial blockade stopping ships landing, you overly cheerful dickhead. Anyway, he brought presents. Weirdly, he wouldn't give Marla her present until she kissed him on the cheek, so I guess he's like the creepy uncle of the family. Everyone knows a Shaundan. Lumpy runs up to his bedroom and with hilariously great difficulty opens his present. Downstairs, it's time for Itchy to get his gift. The proton pack goes in his special chair, which looks like the blow-dry machines they used to have at old hairdressers. I'm now a bit concerned that Itchy is using something called the mind evaporator. We hop in with Itchy and it seems to be another dancey LSD trip segment. Good! Shaundan has given Itchy a wow, something to make his experience a little extra spicy. And so, in his mind evaporator, he creates Diahann Carroll. Yes, Tony Award and Golden Globe winner, 5-time Emmy nominee Diahann Carroll, the first African-American woman to win the Best Actress Tony, all-round star of Hollywood's so-called golden era, played this holographic sex fantasy in the Star Wars Holiday Special. Can you imagine sitting at home in 1978 getting lulled by this soft, sensual performance, and then experiencing the jarring cuts back to Grandpa Itchy having a good time in his chair? It feels like he should be doing this in private. She sings a song, it's lovely. Cut abruptly from Itchy in his fantasy chair to two of my fave lads. It's Princess Leia and C-3PO. I'm a 3PO stan. Some people didn't like 3PO. I challenge those people to a fight. Good luck fighting me. I'm a silly little guy. I'll just cry and you'll feel bad. I guess after the first movie, everyone had like a little holiday in which they got to know Chewbacca's family because Leia is calling Marla to wish her a happy life day. They hash out the usual, oh, Han and Chewie haven't arrived yet. For some reason, Leia asks if there's anyone else there and if they could come to the screen. Luckily for everyone, Shaundan is a friend to the rebels. I can't decide what's more absurdly risky. Leia asking the unknown person at Marla's place to come to the vid screen, or Shaundan opening with, hello there, I'm a rebel sympathizer. This whole bit was also pointless. Leia is like, well, I can see you're in good hands. We'll chat later. Just a bit of Leia 3PO fan service, I guess. It's nice to see them. Back to the Falcon, and oh my god, a two-shot. So the repetitive close-ups might be a style choice? Han and Chewie have arrived at Kashyyyk. They have a quick I love you bro moment. Bless these boys. They discover the high Imperial traffic around Kashyyyk, and just go, we'll land on the north side where it's safer. So, fucking brilliant job on the blockade, Imperials. Back in the family home, the gang hear a ship fly overhead, and they're all overjoyed. It must be Chewie. They open the door to find stormtroopers. Duh, guys, there's a blockade. How would Chewie be flying right over your house? A whole gang of Imperials storm in, an officer, some guards, some stormtroopers. Not the guy from the shop earlier because he doesn't have a moustache. See, he's made himself easily identifiable as well. I think that moustache was a mistake. I think it was a mistake. Unless he used the new groomer he stole before he got here. New theory just dropped. Shaundan actually has a very funny shit moment in the background here, quickly covering the vid screen, while the Imperial officer is just looking the other way. These bad boys start their interrogations, and Shaundan steps in to help. They're expecting 4 Wookiees, so Shaun tells them that Marla had a big old fight with her husband, and he stormed out. The guard bends down to talk to Lumpy, and Lumpy fucking bites him. Lumpy, no! The guard is fucking around with one of the gifts that Shaundan brought the family for Life Day, and your man turns it on for him. It turns out to be another one of those psychedelic entertainment experiences. This time it's a poppy band thing. I'll be honest, I skipped through it, but the guard digs it. He's tapping his fingers to the beat. What a shitty investigator. He's having fun though. Look at him. Aww. Shaundan is finally out of excuses to hang around and the guards force him to leave. To keep Lumpy quiet while the Imperials conduct their investigation, Marla pops him in front of a cartoon. This cartoon features all of our faves, the rebel forces. So at this point I was kind of hoping that it's not canon, that what we're watching is what Lumpy is watching, because the Imperials would find that a bit fucking sus. Something is up with Han and Chewie in the Millennium Falcon, so Lukey Boy, R2 and C-3PO chase them down. Luke and Co land on this watery planet and oh my god, dinosaurs. A big fella almost eats them when who should turn up to save the day? Motherfucking Boba Fett riding his own dinosaur. So cool. I'll be honest, I got really confused here and had to watch this bit twice. So Luke is following Boba Fett to the crashed Falcon, and suddenly we're in the cockpit of the Falcon with Chewie, hearing Luke's voice. Luke's voice is like, Chewie, you found the talisman. What the fuck are you talking about? Chewie puts the talisman, in the garbage disposal or something, and Luke faints. Boba Fett is like, hey, that's my new best friend, and subdues Chewie. 3PO explains that R2 detects some kind of corruption, apparently a sleeping virus that only affects humans. That all happened in the span of less than 20 seconds. I am overwhelmed. Can you see why I was confused? Chewie, for some reason, claims the only way to help Han and now Luke deal with the snooze virus is to let the blood rush to their heads, so he ties them up upside down. Okay. Fortunately, Fett is familiar with this Imperial weapon and knows where they can get a cure. Chewie insists on coming with. This is great. It's a big city and animated, so we get loads of weird Star Wars aliens. Look at that guy. Boba Fett finds the healing serum, but then makes a secret phone call to animated Darth Vader, where he's like, hey boss, I found him. These idiots are just chilling out with me. I said we were friends and they just, now we're friends. Luke is a real trusting boy. Back to Lumpy in the real world, and he reacts with great stress to this development, which does reveal that he is watching a cartoon about the real rebels, which he quickly hides before the nearest Imperial can see what he's watching. This family is not smart enough to harbour important rebel forces, honestly. Back in the cartoon and on the Falcon, R2 fiddles with the view screen and accidentally tunes in to Vader and Fett's conversation. Fucking busted, mate. Chewie and Fett get back to the ship and administer the serum, and oh my god, look at Han Solo. Luke is like, Boba, you're a good pal, a stand-up man, and my best friend. Before being quickly interrupted and updated, corrected by R2 and 3PO. Boba Fett legs it. Chewie's like, I knew Boba was bad all along because he didn't smell right. That makes everyone crack the fuck up, and that's the end of the cartoon. People really like that. Back upstairs at the Chewie family home, the Imperials are trashing Lumpy's room. They pull apart this adorable bantha plushie. Imperial bastards. The Imperials determine that there is nothing up there, and an officer sends Lumpy off to clean up his room, where he finds the beheaded bantha. Oh, Lumpy! He lies it down on his bed and puts a blanket over it and gives it a little kiss. I really am Lumpy, you guys. This is me if I accidentally step on a plushie. I'd never let them do that to you, Holiday Chewie. They've also busted up Lumpy's new mini transmitter, so now we get to watch an instructional video with him. This also goes on for some minutes. Back downstairs, the main TV comes on with a program that is apparently required for Imperial troops to watch. It's about life on Tatooine, so we get to see the Cantina Band performing that one song. Money well spent. Within this new TV world, it seems there is some drama going on between a bartender at the cantina and a customer. He tries to bring her a flower, but she's only interested in selling a drink. This is these two, by the way. The guy goes on this tirade about how he met her the other day, buying a drink, and now he's in love with her. He goes behind the bar and hugs her. What the fuck is going on Tatooine? Turns out he's been mystified by these 6 words she said to him. Come back soon, I'll be waiting. Which he then hears her say to another customer, realises he's not special, and walks off dejectedly. It's fucking good TV. Suddenly a news bulletin places the system under a strict curfew. The bartender tries and fails to get literally anyone to leave the cantina. She agrees to dish out one more round on the house, and it becomes a musical. That's what happens. What the fuck is going on? This segment ends with the creepy guy springing up from behind the bar once everyone's gone, and giving the bartender a flower again. And then it's finally over. Back in the real world, the Imperial officer receives a message telling him to return to base. Sent by Lumpy himself. Absolute mad lad. They do, however, leave one trooper behind to wait for Chewie's arrival home. The trooper hears the transmission coming from upstairs and re-smashes Lumpy's transmitter. Man, he just fixed that. I'm not watching that video again. He's coming after Lumpy with menace. Fortunately for us, Han and Chewie have finally arrived to take down Trooper Wilhelm. They're here at last. They come inside, they have hugs. Han is like, I gotta dip before somebody finds the Falcon. And then they say goodbye again, and he's gone. Chewie is so happy. There's a weirdly long romantic bit between him and Marla, and then the door knocks. But it's just Sean Dan. Oh! Immediately, there's a general alert on the TV looking for a missing Imperial officer. Shit, that was fast. Sean Dan calls up the Imperials straight away and is like, bro, that trooper stayed behind, stole a bunch of food from the house, and then robbed me. It's a pretty bold plan. I feel it might be likely to invite another investigation into their home, but whatever, we're given to believe this is a happy ending. Now all the family have these little bubble things? Candles? I don't know. And then this happens. And I couldn't possibly explain it to you. I simply don't know. I don't know. Now they're all in red robes with their bubbles, and somehow C-3PO and R2-D2 are here. And so is the rest of the gang. Where are they? They're at the Tree of Life, but are they actually at the Tree of Life, or is this some kind of mystical vision? Anyway, then Princess Leia sings a song. We celebrate a day of peace. And finally, Chewie and family are having a lovely Life Day dinner. They appear to say grace, which isn't funny. And that's it. Oh, thank God. What a thing. What an event. It's almost played as, and I've heard it described before I had seen it, as an anthology. I understand that in the sense that you have these sketches in between everything that's played as like TV shows. You've got the Tatooine one, the Boba Fett cartoon, but it's not really, because that's all part of the world. What those things do is take up time being weird and not interesting. The cooking bit, where it's like, haha, I'm a weird alien and I'm doing a cooking show. If that was 2 minutes, maybe you'd be like, hee hee. But all of these things go on so long, the musical interludes. I guess if you liked that band and then the band were playing a Star Wars holo band, you might be like, sick, but what is it all for? Leia, Luke, 3PO and R2, they all have no purpose being here. The bits with them do nothing to advance the story. It's just like, there they are, remember them? They were in Star Wars. You love those characters. You loved Star Wars. Come and see the next Star Wars. Buy some toys. Please. It doesn't gel. It doesn't work. I watched it at 1.5 speed. I don't think it's possible to sit and watch this film all the way through at normal speed without skipping anything on your own. Just watching it like you watch a movie and enjoying yourself. So much of it is torturous in that scenario. That being said, it's far from the worst thing I've ever seen. I think the main problem that the Star Wars Holiday Special has is that it comes from a very beloved franchise. And the reason it's such a known cult smash hit is because it's funny when things are bad, and it is bad, but also people who love a franchise will want to collect everything, and this was never made available. So that makes it kind of beloved by the fandom in a strange way, because it's hard to get. The only copies we have, the only way we can see it, is through people that essentially recorded it with, you know, their VHS players. You can't go and buy a video, and George Lucas wishes that you could never see it in any form. Fascinating, weird stuff. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like these slightly unhinged movie recaps, there's a whole playlist you can check out. Consider subscribing to this channel so you don't miss any. Maybe give the video a little like. I did inadvertently, on account of losing my voice, miss some time on this channel, and I don't know how the old YouTube algorithm will take that. So it would be really awesome if you enjoyed this, if you would give it a little like and consider sharing it. Maybe send it to a friend you think might like it. I want to lick this so bad. I know it's cloth, but... Okay, yeah, that tastes like cloth. What was I saying? And leave some thoughts down in the comments below. All those things really, really help. The best way to support this channel is via the Patreon. You get uncut versions of videos, some early releases, merch discounts and early merch reveals. We might be working on a new friend for Baffy right now. The only people who are in the know about that are the patrons. You also get permanent lifelong access to our community Discord. There's lots of cool stuff, consider checking it out. You can also become a channel member right here to get some silly emotes and comment priority. On that note, I would love to give a big old thank you and a shout out to my giant chickens and colossal quackers over on Patreon. Thank you so very much for watching. Oh my gosh, did you hear that? I need to stop talking for the rest of the day. Otherwise, I'm going to lose this again, and that would be really bad. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a lovely post-holiday season. Sorry this video is late. And I will see you very soon.